Hey guys, welcome to Manifesting Better. I'm back with another video and another topic that needs to be addressed. I also have an Instagram account, the link for that is in the description box below. Coaching is also available, the link for that too is in the description box below. From what lens do you view your manifestations? Hey guys, hope everyone is well and everyone is doing okay. In this video, I want to go deeper into why some people do the same techniques and they work for them. Why sometimes I can do the same affirmation and you can do the same affirmation and it can have a different result. Or sometimes people say that, hey, earlier I was not in such a good state, but I still got what I wanted when I was affirming for it. But now I'm feeling better, but I still don't have what I want. And why sometimes we talk about the fact, what is a map of the world? How do we view the world? And why when sometimes you receive routines, this is for someone who has been with a few different coaches, that this is why when you receive routines, why routines are very similar sometimes, why coaches are telling you to work on similar things. And I don't mean every coach, some coach will have a certain different style, of course, and like every coach has a different style, but whoever you resonate with, if you have had coaching before, why sometimes routines are similar. So let's understand what the map of the world is. Every person who is there present, you, me, everyone watching this video, we all have a map of how we view our world. And we view our world based on how we have lived till now, the kind of experiences that we have had, the kind of way that we look at life, the kind of past in relationships, in wealth, in health, in money, the kind of experiences I have seen my family have, the kind of childhood that I had, the school that I studied in, the college that I studied in, the places that I have visited, the things that I have eaten, everything. We are all accumulation and a mixture of all of these things that we are coming across, and we are a mixture of all of these things through which we finally see the world. So our map of the world basically comes from who I am as a person and how I see particular things in my life based on my experiences in the past. And every person will have a different map of the world. Now, we also can call it, to a certain extent, my self-concept about particular things. But my self-concept about particular things is basically how I view my world in the first place. And how I view my world is my map on how I walk around in the world. Two people can have, and probably will have, very different maps of their worlds based on the kind of childhood that they have went through and based on the kind of life that they have lived. Even two siblings who have lived in the same household will have a totally different map of the world based on the experiences that they have. I will give you an example. Let's say there are two friends, one is me and one is one of my friends. And let's say I am someone who, since I have been younger, has always seen great relationships. I am someone who has always had great relationships. I have never had any issues in confidence when it comes to the topic of relationships, and I have always flourished when it comes to that. And one of my friends, let's call him Ricky. So let's say Ricky is someone who has always had trouble in relationships since he has been young. His parents were divorced when he was 9, and he has always had trouble in terms of getting into stable relationships. He always attracts emotionally unavailable women, and he sometimes gets cheated on. And he himself is someone who has been guilty of cheating on girls. Now, the way that I will view relationships in my life, which means that my map of the world in relationships will be totally different than Ricky's map of the world in terms of relationships. But let's say I am someone who was born in a very humble background, which means I did not have a lot of wealth growing up. But Ricky is someone who is a millionaire, who has, since he has been younger, he has had a lot of money, and how he interacts with people in the first place, his sense of self-worth is dependent on that he has money. And because of that, he is able to be in a stable position in his life. Now, let's say there is a situation, and there is a situation with a particular business that comes to us, a startup that comes to us with an opportunity to invest. Now, because my map of the world tells me that I shouldn't be taking that as an opportunity because I'm worried that I might lose the money that I have because I give money a lot of importance. It's because my map of the world has taught me to view things from a slightly critical perspective when it comes to wealth. So that is what I do. But Ricky's map of the world tells him that you don't have to actually look at the world through a critical lens when it comes to money, because money is always in abundance. So he looks at it differently. So maybe the same opportunity coming to both of us, I can look at it through the perspective of fear and not invest in it. And Ricky can look at it from the perspective of an opportunity and invest in it. But let's say we go out in a bar and we are having a good time and we see a very attractive woman. And now one of us, like, we both want to go and say hi. But because my map of the world tells me that I can go and say hi because I am someone who feels that women are attracted to me, not because of any other thing, but because of my great history in relationships, I will probably have an easier time saying hi than Ricky. Now, we both can be doing the same affirmations. We both can literally be brothers, waking up in the same time, waking up at the same hour, doing everything together, but still have different maps of the worlds. The reason is because behind the technique, behind the affirmations, behind why I do what I do is me, who is the main character in the story of what will actually get me my desire. It's not the techniques, it's the person doing the techniques. It's neither my techniques or my affirmations or Ricky's affirmations that gets him the results. It's who the person is behind doing those affirmations that adds as fuel to the fire that is already there, that adds the results. That is why changing yourself is the most important thing, and changing your self concept is the most important thing. Because once I change my self concept, in the first place, it will become easier for me to not chase things in my life. Let's say someone comes and tells me that, hey, I want to manifest a specific person, and I give them a particular routine. Now, they have done this routine a few times before because it is a similar routine. They can still get different results from it because the person that they were when they were doing that routine and the person that they are now when they are doing that routine are totally different. Now understand this. One person is someone who does some affirmations and then totally looking at the world and is like, where is it? Why is it not happening? Why does it always happen to me? Why are my relationships always bad? Why do I keep suffering in relationships again and again? This is one person. The other person is someone who says, oh, I just did I just did these affirmations. I feel great with them. It means it might be working. I don't need to stress about it. I can just go live my life. Do you see, based on my difference, the same routine can have different results and different actions and different mindset in accordance to everything. That is why it's the most important thing to do is to work on yourself in that area, because it helps you change the perception of the things that you are manifesting in the first place. I had a client, he was always worried about the fact that he wants to change the perception of the girl that he's manifesting. Now, the thing is that this client is in this position right now where even trying to change the perception of this girl would be very difficult, because the place that he's coming from right now is a place of fear, is a place where he's trying to fulfill a lot of emotions that he doesn't get in his life through this girl, and is a place where he's overanalyzing and micromanaging everything. He has a consistency problem and he's not going in that direction in a particular way. For someone like him, the first step should be that, okay, before spending a lot of time trying to change the perception of something which I am not ready to handle, which will not be my map of the world, because my map of the world doesn't allow me to view this girl a particular way. Because if I have to look at her in a particular way, I have to first change the eyes through which I see her. Not literally, but just metaphorically. That I have to change the eyes through which I see her. Because once I change my perception of myself and I am able to provide these feelings to myself without being worried about it just being coming from her, I would be in a better position to handle it. I would be in a better position to deal with it. And then me changing my perceptions about her would be an easier task. It would not take that much time. Have you ever heard that saying that if you want to cut down a tree and you have an hour, use the first 50 minutes to sharpen the axe and then use the next 10 minutes to cut the tree? That's what the whole concept is. That's why changing yourself is something that is a non-negotiable, because we don't want that our first perception of things is always negative and is always opposite to what we want. And our first perception of things is usually telling us what we truly believe about the subject. Ask yourself a question. Ask yourself these two questions the next time that you're doing any routine. And this will actually help you to see from which map of the world you are doing these techniques from. The first question to ask yourself is, from what eyes am I looking at the world when I'm doing this technique right now, or when I'm looking at this situation right now? Am I looking at it from the eyes of someone who has what they want, or am I looking at it through the eyes of someone who doesn't? The second question you should ask yourself, am I looking at it through love or fear? Am I looking at it through abundance or lack? These questions will actually answer a lot of things for you, because they will teach you that your first perceptions about things are actually teaching you a lot about who you truly are and what is the first thing that needs to change. And once I change the first thing, maybe it will become so much easier for me to get what I want. I really intend you take the message from this video that this video is meant to give you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Click the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe and turn the notifications on for more such content. Comment down your video suggestions and I will see you guys in the next one.